Vice President of India M. Venkaiah Naidu arrives in Dimapur today as part of his one-day visit to Nagaland. During his visit, Naidu to hold meeting with the State Governor and Chief Minister. Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagaland and Government of the People's Republic of Nagaland under the leadership of General Niki Sumi and Ino Starson Lamkang Naga met the interlocutor for Naga peace talk A.K. Mishra in Delhi. Advisor to the Chief Minister of Nagaland, Abu Mehta, presses for an urgent need to implement reform in the state government machinery to improve the capacity and calibre of the government employee at all levels. Nagaland Legislative Assembly member R. King, during his conversation with Nltv, spoke about the differences and difficulties the people of Tamil Nadu are facing as a subdivision. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated 35 pressure swing absorption PSA oxygen plant established under the PM Care Fund across 35 states and union territories. The government approved a proposal of the Ministry of Textile to set up 7 mega integrated textile region and apparel parks with a total outlay of rupees 4,445 crore in the next 5 years. Hello and welcome to Nagaland TV. This is Rovinho Lama and you're watching English Prime Time. Now, news in details. Vice President of India M. Venkaiah Naidu is on a one-day visit to Nagaland. During his visit, he met Governor of Nagaland, Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers at Police Complex Chumukidima. The Vice President discussed issues pertaining to the affairs of the state earlier. The VP arrived at Dimapur Airport at 9:45 a.m. as scheduled. The Vice President also inaugurated office building of Directorate of IT&C, Kohima Building of Government High School, Minister Residential Complex, Kohima in the afternoon. The inauguration were done via video conferencing. Later, the VP had an interactive session with achievers and witnessed special cultural performances at NEZCC. Dimapur, Naidu will spend the night at Dimapur and depart for Arunachal Pradesh Friday morning. The Vice President visited the ICAR Research Complex at Jharnapani, Dimapur. During his visit, he checked on the livestock and also had conversation regarding the same. He also spoke during his visit where he wished the best to ICAR and hoped to see more research from the place. He spoke on Mithun as well. During the visit, he was also briefed about the reserve and programs are being held there occasionally and also on project taken up at the Center for Mithun. The Vice President has thanked the ICAR for holding up such project and looking after the overall outlook of Mithun Livestock Research Center.
Interesting to see, to hear, and then go through the sites that have been there, to know much about the institute. Also, I am happy that I was able to hear the report of the ICAR Center in Nagaland about their activities also. I convey my best wishes to all the scientists and other technical people.
National Socialist Council of Nagaland and Government of the People's Republic of Nagaland under the leadership of General Niki Sumi and Ino Starson Lamkang Naga met the interlocutor for Naga peace talk A.K. Mishra in Delhi. Releasing the press statement, NSC and GPRN say that they have conveyed a message to the interlocutor that they are committed to the peace and Naga peace talk. Also, during the meeting, they apprised the interlocutor about the revised ceasefire agreement with Government of India. They further reiterated their stand that NSC and GPRN, being a separate entity, would go by the aspiration and wishes of the Nagas people and would not impede that Naga peace solution as long as it has the Nagas people desire for inclusive and amicable political solution. Furthermore, NSC and GPRN affirms that the Nagas people's wishes and aspiration will be their guiding principle and objective. NDPP announces candidature for bypoll that is gonna take place for the vacant 50th Shamator Seshore constituency. In a ticket ceremony that took place in NDPP headquarters in Dimapur today, as Kyoshu Yumkum has been named as candidate of United Democratic Alliance as NPF and BJP supported his candidature. NDPP Working President Altemshi Jamir and President Chingwang Konyak were present during the ceremony. From BJP State Vice President Hurul Ziliang and Senior Vice President of NPF Pusazo Lurio were among those who were present.
Ami ticket ba basodi ishi khushi ase aro eto khushi tu koi dibole mon ase eto state government luigena amakhan YDC official khan led by president aro state government logodi aman laga chief minister serbra luigena kiman party worker khan takise aro 50 Shamodor Seshore constituency di kiman jun ending candidate takise sob understanding ekta mon milagena by election ase exal karni ase idobra state government bra aro isobra kunhi amakhan chujun majodi leader gurbole isor laga will kun ase ituge hi exal karni lead gurbole dibote goigena amakhan state government logodi cooperate kurigena ODC logodi cooperate kurigena amakhan candidate chujun brabi hat milaigena pathana luigena isor logodi rakhi dise aji NDTV party laga ticket to amar logo paise ami isor logo bishi thanks di ase logodi aman laga chief minister aro party president sir Chingwang Konyak sob ke bishi khushi kotha to jonai ase
apni la manon nimide palgam dugina guri jawli phabya
ami laga manu karni falkam grubole to ami bishi long dream ekta thakise holebi etia to exali ase by election hoa karni chinaga constituency di vegan thaki gena jabole na bara karni state government bra tadi isebra declaration kura national election declare kurse tadi excel karni ami excel bhitor di ami ki kam grubo paribo government logoti milai gena party logoti milai gena takut di gena ki bare rat din kuri jabo ko gena bhavana.
No entry boards have filled up marketplaces in and around Dimapur district. The boards were placed even before the pandemic started, and with time, that no entry signboards have been increasing. No entry signboards have been placed in market areas between New Market, Batacharali and Hong Kong Market, and this in turn has created problem for the shopkeepers. For more details into this, Nltv went to Hong Kong Market today and took ground report. The shopkeepers expressed their grievances on camera and stated the problem pertaining the issues. The main grieving issue is the poor customer turnout with the increase in no entry order. They are also facing problem in transporting the goods from one end to the other. Furthermore, the shopkeepers have requested the concerned authorities for some relaxation in the traffic regulation and to open some blockades.
Ajimon ahine thake to yete Hong Kong market ahine ase to yete itu case lola hedu mon do itu ajila khobor do no entry sob jagate ajikali yete actually itu Hong Kong market area New Market area aro itu Batacharli itu line khan de sob no entry hoise etu karone yete dukan malik khan dukan kurahan ki duk face kurase itu hudi ola hedu tahan bi kuina ase yete Hong Kong market la do itu rasta hichap nyan dikase itu fane itu gari nebraili okun hoy no entry thakile okun hoy kune mohanki ki janai dis kile mane customer ham beram dibi time de gari han pabi lagi jay inga okun janai dise
ইফালে 90 টাকা তো ঠিকই আছে মার্কেট ভিতরতে মানুষ বেরাবো পারে হলে বাহার সব পালে ইফালে বি 90 লাগা কিনা আছে তাতে বি 90 ইতো গলিতে বি 90 সব পালে খালি 90 তো গাড়ি কোন পালে বেরাবো একটা গাড়ি তো ইফালে পরাও পালে যাব না পারে এতো বাটা চারালিতে বি 90 এফালে ইতো জায়গাতে বি 90 মানুষ স্টেশন পরা যাতে আই কিনা বলে বি 90 ইতোই ডিস্টার্ব পায় আছে সব মানুষ ইতোই আছে
তো আপনি কি কইতো না
আমি বি তো এতুই থাইলা কোয়া হিসাবতে আছে মার্কেট ভিতর লাগাই তো ঠিক আছে এতু তো খোলা থাকিলে মানুষখান দিগদার গাড়ি আহার জামতে মানুষখান লাগি যায় না আৰু উতুখান মেইন রোড খান তো খুলি দিয়াই ভাল কাস্টমার খান না আহিব পারে আহিব না পারে আর কি উতুখানতে না খোলা থাকিলে তো মানুষখান আহিব পারে যা হা করা তো ভাল বরা পারে আৰু এতু মার্কেট ভিতর লাগাই তো ঠিক আছে 90 টাকা তো ঠিকে আছে
দুখ পাই আছে তো দুখ পাই আছে এইটোতো দুখ পাই আছে এইটো মাৰ্কেট ভিতৰতেতো একো নহয় হ'লেও গাড়ী ইয়াতে আহিব নাপাৰিলেতো চামানটো ক'ত পৰা আহিব ইয়াতে পৰাতো দুৰ্গা মন্দিৰ তোক 90 এইফালে বি 90 ষ্টেচন এইটো ৰোডটো 90 আছে এইফালে বাটাচাৰা লিবি 90 মুৰ্গীপট্টিৰ ভিতৰতে বেছি 90 আপুনি খান বি চাইলে জানিব 90 বোৰ্ডটো কিমান আছে
itu sob jaga no entry jale tahan bisi duk pa ase saman bi kin ga no kila mane tata mobile khan tok bi aniu na pare gune ko ase aru auto tok pa ehun na pare gune ko ase to ne tahan bra request kora ase itu no entry to olop tu khul dibe gune tahan karne itu khobor loina hi ase moira machumi with camera person
Nagaland Legislative Assembly members R. King, during his conversation with Nltv, spoke about the differences and difficulties the people of Seminyu are facing as a subdivision. King mentioned that the Hoho have submitted 4 memorandum for changing of Seminyu subdivision to district to the state government, but there was no positive response till that. He also stated that once they get district, the Rengwa peoples will not share Seminyu with the neighboring villages and that it will be a separate district of Nagaland. King also mentioned the fact that some neighboring states like Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh with one constituency have separate district and also Seminyu with only one MLA in their constituency. It was difficult to serve the people of more than 56,000 population. Their demand is to focus on the development of their community in every aspect.
District আছে capital district আছে অলরেডি তো district আছে district কোটা হিলা মখানটো ভাগ করে কেনা কনস্টিটিউয়েন্সি ওয়াইজ ভাগ করে যায় তো মখান district তো ভাগ করে যালে তো মখান তো রেবা তো ফরচুনেটলি আনফরচুনেটলি খালি একটা এমএলএ আছে সিট আছে তো মখান সিট একটা তো কোটা তো পাবো লোকেনা এতিয়া ঈশ্বর মরম পৰা তা মখান তো মানবী এতিয়া তো হলে তো বিশ্বে increase হয়েছে বিশ্ব হয়েছে 56 প্লাস আইছে 56,000 প্লাস পপুলেশন হয়ে যাইছে তো একটা ডিস্ট্রিক্ট কোটা তো ডিস্ট্রিক্ট কোটা তো লোকের কনস্টিটিউন্সি ভাগ করিব একটা এমএলএ সিট কোটা এনেকে না 56 প্লাস মানুষকে চাবলে দুখানকে মদত কৰিবলে বেশ কমতি পৰা বেশ দুখ পৰা এটো চলায় আৰু মানুহ খান বি বেশ দুখ আমাৰ খান বি চোৰকে নাগা ইণ্টাৰপ্ৰেনেন্স আহি কেনে মিলি কেনে চেক্ৰিফাইচ কৰাইছে ইণ্টাৰেষ্টে পাইছে তো খালি একটা কুটা এনেকে খালি আমাৰ খানকে মদত কৰে আমাৰ খানকে দি থাকিলে আমাৰ খান তো কিমান বি দুখ এতিয়া আমাৰ খান বেশ ফিজিকেলি মেণ্টেলি তো ডেভেলপমেণ্ট ইকনমিকেলি সব পালেতো বেশি দুখ করে কেনা শ্বাস বি কৰিব নোৱাৰে নিচিনা কৰে কেনা বহি আছে এইটো কাৰণে আমাক আমি এতিয়া কেপিটেল ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টে থাকে আছে হ'লে বি নিজে তো কোটাতো নাগালেণ্ড চিষ্টেমটো ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট দিছে কোটা ভাগ কৰি যাইছে এইটো কাৰণে আমাক আমি তেতিয়া হ'লেতো এই ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টটো মাগি কেনা নাগালেণ্ড গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট লগত মাগি কেনা তাৰ কাৰণকে এইটো আমাক ৰাইট পলা কি আছে এইটো হিচাপতে তাইখন মৰম কৰি কেনে দিলে আমাক আমি ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট কোটা নি কেনা আমাক এৰিয়া ডেভেলপমেণ্ট কৰিব মানুহে মদত কৰিব এডুকেশ্যন ভাল হ'লে বি ডেভেলপমেণ্ট ভাল হ'লে বি যোন ইকনমি ভাল হ'লে বি মানুহ নিচিনা ওপৰত যাব নোৱাৰিলে মানুহ কমচে কম মানুহ ওচৰতেহে দহটা ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট মানুহ ওচৰতে বি যাব লাগে কৈ না এইটো মানুহ মনটো ওলাইছে এইটো লগে না এতিয়া ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টে মাগিবলৈ শ্বৰ হৈছে
AICC in charge Nagaland, Dr. Ajoy Kumar, today inaugurated the office of the Minority Department at its headquarters at Kohima Congress Bhavan by cutting a ribbon in presence of NPCC President K. Terry, Working President Bobby Paniker and Credi Tenyo, General Secretary Captain G.K. Zimomi and other NPCC officials. After the COVID protocols came into effect, passenger capacity was reduced to 50% and the fare rate has doubled. This has created problem for the passenger and it has come to light as the burning issues in the state. To find out more on these issues, Nltv today visited Dimapur to Kohima taxi stand near railway station and prepared a ground report. According to reports, the fare from Dimapur to Kohima and vice versa was Rs 300 per head with 100% passenger capacity before the pandemic. However, fare has been doubled to rupees 600 with 50% passenger capacity after the pandemic. As per taxi associations, small vehicles like Alto carry 2 passengers and big vehicles like Sumo and Eco carry 4 passengers each. Drivers are facing problem with just 50% passenger intake and public are facing problems with the price hike on taxi fare. Furthermore, they have requested the government to look into this matter and also on the issues of increased fuel price. Both the drivers and the passenger are said to be following SOP.
So itu taxi fare hike korala do. To itia do kiman charge kores na.
First of all, apne ngi bishi thanks Nltv ka number apne na coverage kore. Aro itia pandemic time de man per head 600 lois na. Aro chutu gari de duijun damo gari de charge uthai je.
To like itu price hike hoa karne ki problems face kore se as a taxi union employee or as a taxi association na.
So right now passenger do per head 600 however passenger ba jagli bishi kom dia je. Itu ra parish gole government bra olop side dile bal. Passenger do olop extra uthao dibi bhara dilo komti koribi aro itu pote tel bi bishi uthia je government bra para tak tel do komti kori dile amen bishi kushi babo public kan bishi duk ba didu.
Acha to maro like janu mujhe like itu before pandemic to like price hike khan apni price rate khan olop janiu diu ami han ge aro since apni gushe per head ekta gari dekhale dujon ekla bhule dias na to tula nishna before pandemic bi kina hoise after pandemic ta difference olop kole jani
ঠিক আছে পয়লা before pandemic te alto de charge per head 300 kurina aro eco de 7 passenger aro sumo de 10 passenger sub 300 per head.
Chinese authorities, in a bid to tighten command over Tibet autonomous regions, have directed Buddhist monastery in Tibet to translate classroom text from Tibetan into Mandarin, the common language of China. Government authorities in a 3-day conference held in Qinghai province last month say that Beijing instructed monks and nuns to adopt the Chinese language for communication instead of their native language. This policy is an ignorant power played by the Chinese government. Tibet scholar and researcher who participated in the conference were forced to do so in spite of their reluctance. This is the latest evidence from Tibet Autonomous Region (TAR) indicating Chinese authorities' real view on minority languages. The parent body of Naga National Council stated that it would be a mistake of the government of India if it settles the Naga political issues, leaving aside 3 NNC groups and the original NSCNK group based in Eastern Nagaland, Saigon Division, Burma. Vice President of the NNC parent body Zeongba Yumkung in a statement said NSCN-IM and NPGS led by Kitovi and recently included NSCNK Nikki group are the only Nagas group that are taken into account at present. He also added that it will be a big mistake on the part of the government of India, which claimed to stand for an honorable, acceptable and inclusive solution for Nagas. It further stated that if the aforementioned Naga national groups are left out intentionally, then this will never be an honorable, acceptable and inclusive political solution for all the Nagas. Rather, it will be an incomplete one, and the Naga political movement for freedom will continue for some groups to achieve their rightful political freedom as a people and nation. The NNC also questioned state government and Nagas NGOs on their statement to stand for Naga reconciliation, unity and inclusive solution. Advisor to the Chief Minister of Nagaland, Abu Mehta, presses for an urgent need to implement reforms in the state government machinery to improve the capacity and calibre of the government employees at all levels. In a letter addressed to the CM, Mehta urged the need to bring about a change in the state civil and police services to motivate better performances and also improve the overall output of the government machineries throughout various initiatives like training programs and collaborative linkage with world-class institutions and centers of excellence. Mehta had earlier made suggestions and shared ideas on how to make the government machinery more efficient and introduce reforms in the bureaucracy through mass media platform. He further mentioned that the negative impact on the government machinery in the coming years will be difficult to overcome unless reforms and measures are taken to elevate the government machineries. Varun Gandhi and his mother, Manika Gandhi, name has been dropped from the fresh list of the 80-member BJP National Executive after he condemned the event in UP's Lakhimpur Kheri. The party brushed off the action, calling it a routine exercise. Varun Gandhi is the only BJP leader to flag the issue of BJP Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son, Ashish Mishra. Varun Gandhi on Tuesday tweeted a video of black SUV running through a group of peaceful protesters from behind. On Wednesday, Varun Gandhi tweeted accountability for the innocent blood of farmers, saying that justice must be delivered. Both Ajay Mishra and his son have denied presence at the spot, but admits that the SUV belongs to his family. The civil society organization CSO Core Committee has initiated a sit-in protest against the shifting of the DC office from Dimapur to Chumukadima. Mr. Bendang, civil society's organization spokesperson, in an exclusive interview with Nltv stated the committee's stand is very clear and is totally against the shifting of DC and other branches of the office to Chumukadima. The committee urged the state government to give a clear statement as the government response till now is very confusing. Bendang, the core committee spokesperson, also informed that the protest will be indefinite and prolonged until official government response.
Yesterday's meeting in regard to Sir Jacob Zimomi, we have already published in a print and social media that our stand is very clear. We are totally against the shifting of DC office, not just DC but the DC office. Any file, any branch or any cell from DC office, we are totally against the shifting, and we have already published in social and print media, yes. And also in regard to today's publication paper, yeah. In regard to this, let me, before I respond to you, let me make one thing very clear, that DC is the administrative head, and administrative head comprises of ADC, SDO Civil, EAC, and all the branches. And we are against shifting of DC office, which means against the shifting of any of the branch or cell, not only the DC itself. Now the government has, we have come to know that government bra ekta notification online she nika unofficial ami han ke to pungchanai holebi inika hunise that taikan laga October 6 isabra taikan laga statement isabra koise that ADC aro EAC ekta aro treasury branch e shift kuribo iniga takhan ekta proposal ekta put up kuribo ina olaise koise holebi edu miscommunication hoi gana edu ADC aro dusra branch jaise iniga khobor paise reliable sources pra holebi ami khan laga demand do ekta question bi ase that whether ADC posting yate laga transfer hoi ase na DC office yate laga EAC or ADC to, or they are creating a new post at elsewhere. So this is our question to the government. We want a clear notification or reply in this regard, because that is confusing the public also. Whether the EAC and ADC from Dimapur DC office will be transferred and shifted there, or whether a new post creation will be made at Chumu. That is very confusing. So government should make this a very clear stand to all the public. Yes. Our demand is that it is very clear, we have mentioned in the print media also that our protest will be indefinite. So it will prolong until the government respond to us or notify officially regarding the cancellation of shifting of DC office. No file or no office or no branch cell will be allowed to shift from the present DC office to elsewhere. Government may develop or may bring new developmental changes anywhere they want, but not at the cost of shifting any branch from DC office. And we are totally against shifting of any branch or cell from the present DC office to elsewhere. Earlier we gave in our ultimatum the 5 days that expired, as you all know, and then after that we from the reliable sources we came to know that the government has clarified their earlier stand through correspondence yesterday, but till date we have not set any ultimatum in this regard. But we hope that the government is very wise and very to say concerned for the people, citizens of Dimapur. We hope and anticipate that they will respond to us very soon. But until and unless they respond to us,
Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated 35 pressure swing absorption PSA oxygen plant established under the PM Care Funds across 35 states and union territories in an event held at AIIMS Rishikesh in Uttarakhand on October 7. The PMO have informed that all districts of the country will have commissioned PSA oxygen plant. Till now, a total of 1,224 PSA oxygen plants have been funded under the PM Care Fund across the country, and more than 1,100 plants have been commissioned, providing an output of over 1,750 MT oxygen per day.
वहीं से आज भर में अनेक नए ऑक्सीजन प्लांट्स का लोकार्पण हुआ है। ये देश के अलग अलग राज्यों में ऑक्सीजन प्लांट्स की नई सुविधा के लिए मैं आप सभी को, देशवासियों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। वहीं से आज भर में अनेक नए ऑक्सीजन प्लांट्स का लोकार्पण हुआ है। ये देश के अलग अलग राज्यों में ऑक्सीजन प्लांट्स की नई सुविधा के लिए मैं आप सभी को, देशवासियों को
The government approved a proposal of the Ministry of Textile to set up 7 mega integrated textile region and apparel park with a total outlay of rupees 4,445 crore in the next 5 years. Textile Minister Piyush Goyal said the move would provide 7 lakh direct and 14 lakh indirect jobs. The PM Mitra would be developed by a special purpose vehicles owned by state government and the central government in public-private partnership mode. And aiding this would position India strongly on the globally textile map. The parks will be set up at greenfield, brownfield site located in different willing states. Proposal of state government having ready availability of contiguous and encumbrance-free land parcels of 1,000 plus acres along with other textile-related facilities ecosystem are welcome. Goyal said 10 states have already shown interest in setting up the parks, which are Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Assam, Madhya Pradesh and Telangana. "92 women constables have been selected for Bihar Special Armed Police, who have been trained at the Central Training Center of the Central Reserve Police Force (CRPF), Mukhet in Maharashtra, to fight against Naxalite and Territories Director General Training Alok Raj said that 92 women commandos were already capable of combating operation and is now training to enhance their strength. The women have met all challenges in the course of the 3-month training and will be posted in specially constituted agency like Special Security Group, SSG, Anti-Terrorism Squad, and will also be a part of Special Task Force STF of Bihar Police. Aryan Khan will be produced in court today in the Mumbai drugs on cruise case on Monday. He was denied bail after his sensational arrest and was sent to the custody of Anti-Drugs Agency Narcotic Control Bureau (NCB) till today. by a Mumbai court. All 8 were arrested on Sunday after the anti-drugs agency went undercover and raided a rave party on Saturday evening on the Cordelia cruise sailing from Mumbai to Goa. The raid produced a haul of 13 grams of cocaine, 21 grams of charas, 22 pills of MDMA and 5 grams of MD. The Anti-Drugs Bureau said, according sources, the drugs were found hidden in clothes, underwear and purses. One person was injured after a vehicle rammed into a group of people protesting against the Centre Farms Law. Farmers allege that the vehicles of BJP MP Nayab Saini hit one person. The injured person has been admitted in the civil hospital. According to reports, Nayab Saini, the Kurukshetra MP and other party leaders including State Mining Minister Mool Chand Sharma were attending an event held at the Saini Bhavan in Narayangarh. As the event concluded and the convoy of cars exited the area, one of the vehicles allegedly hit a farmer. A large group had gathered outside Saini Bhavan to protest the BJP leader's visit. The farmers have called for a FIR filed against the driver, failing which the farmers have threatened to surround the police station on 10th October. The Andhra Pradesh Road Transport Corporation APSRTC has decided to run over 4,000 special buses operating from Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Chennai between October 8 to October 18. The decision has been taken in a bid to accommodate passengers travelling to their native places to celebrate Dasara festival. APSRTC Vice Chairman and Managing Director CH Dwaraka Trimula Rao said that out of 4,000 buses, 1,383 would be running from Hyderabad, 277 from Bengaluru and 97 from Chennai. The remaining 2,243 buses are planned for clearance of traffic within the state, according to reports. The corporation will operate around 1,800 buses from October 8 to October 14 and the remaining 2,200 between October 15 and October 18. However, the fare to travel in these buses will be 1.5 times higher than the normal bus fare. The MD also cited the increased fuel rate to justify the increase in fare during festive season.
Yeah, good morning everybody. You are all aware that on 1st January 2020, the APSRTC has been merged and absorbed into the government. In a way, it means that all the employees of APSRTC have been absorbed into a newly created department, transport department, which is part of the government. Is that we are running about 4,000 special buses for on the eve of the Dasara festival. That is pre-Dasara and post-Dasara put together. Pre-Dasara we have about 1,800 buses. Post-Dasara we will be having from 15th onwards, 15th to 18th, we will be running about 2,200 buses. There is one complaint against the APSRTC that we levy higher charges during the festivals in general and Dasara festival in particular. Now, I want to explain and appeal to the people.
This is all for today. For more updates, keep watching Nltv.